Hey guys, Sleepless Authors here, and I'm kind of just sharing a funny story today. So I've been writing for a really long time, and back when I was in high school and college, I did a lot of handwriting. It was just kind of more convenient because I always wanted to steal away anytime I could to write, like whether that was between classes, during any kind of lunch break that I had between other stuff. I just wanted to write all the time. I just felt like I had a million stories to tell and never enough time to write them all. So the only bad part about that is that then I started to develop carpal tunnel in my right hand pretty quick, especially because I also drew a lot, so it was kind of like a poison combo. But in order to write more, I taught myself to write left-handed. I am not naturally ambidextrous. This was something that I just took upon myself to learn. It's really funny to look back on because at first I could not even write legibly. Like I would try writing lefty and you couldn't even see what I was doing. I would also write letters backward a lot just because like the muscle memory tells you to like form E this way. So then when I would try to do that with my left hand and replicate the movement, I would just write it backwards. It was pretty wild. It was so strange to kind of like feel like you were back in kindergarten and learning how to write again for the first time. Another thing that was surprisingly hard was getting the spacing right between letters and words. Like you'd think that would transfer over from like your dominant hand to your non-dominant one, but I honestly had to learn that all over again when teaching myself to write lefty. The other funny thing that happened was even when I started to be able to write legibly with my left hand, which is a little subjective because my handwriting's trash with either hand, it was super duper hard for me to write left quickly. I was really slow with my left hand. Like my speed with my right hand is probably about twice as much. Like if I write anything, literally anything, I'm just gonna write literally anything. So literally anything with my right hand, it's pretty quick. Relatively quick. Boom, done. Now I'm gonna do it lefty. I've been working on this. It's something that I want to improve on more, but I honestly haven't had as much use for it the past few years. I did have one really funny instance though at a previous job. Yeah. Before I tell you about the job. Boom. It took a lot longer. You can probably guess which one is right and which one is left. But yeah, at the previous job, it was super funny. I was handwriting stuff and I switched from right to left. And one of my coworkers walked in and was like, "Lee, what are you doing?" And joked to my boss that they should pay me twice as much since I can write with both hands. Which didn't happen, but it was still a fun compliment. The other crazy thing was that it made me super sympathetic to people who are left-handed. Nothing is set up for lefties out there. It was great that I could relieve my carpal tunnel a little bit in my right hand by switching to my left hand, but there are like no desks in college for lefties. You have to like scan the room and find a specific place to sit. It is so crazy. Another thing that was wild was trying to use scissors or trying to brush my teeth. Since I taught myself to write lefty, I was like, I can do anything left-handed now, which was pretty overconfident of me, but even just using scissors left-handed just doesn't feel right. Pun intended. And the other thing is my handwriting never became identical. As you can see from that little sample, it's similar, but honestly, sometimes people look at my right-handed writing and my left-handed writing and they think that different people wrote it. So it's kind of a question. It was a lot of work to teach myself to write left-handed since I'm a dominant righty, and it kind of begs the question if it was worth it or not. For me, I would say that it was. It was kind of cool. I like to get that experience of like seeing what life is like for another person, and learning how inconvenient life is for left-handed people was kind of enlightening in a really sad way. On top of that, it did help me accelerate my writing. Like I did write more during those years because I was able to switch hands. So even if my right hand was like in terrible pain, I could keep working on that short story or that commission. So it was helpful. I may not use it much anymore, but I'm still glad that I learned it. So if for some bizarre reason you're as crazy as me and you want to learn to write left-handed, take it slow, know that it's going to be a bumpy road, and, you know, keep the long-term rewards in mind. It's kind of a cool experiment to do, but I'm going to say it's not too life-changing. But at any rate, now you know I am such a stubborn writer, I taught myself to write left-handed so I could write more. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time.